Missed you yesterday. What happened to you?
I was taking time off.
Yeah? Are you sick?
I went for a date, not at CAFÉ JAVAS.
Speaking of which, yesterday you were roasting me on Facebook. You were on my case on Facebook because I suggested that CAFÉ JAVAS might be a nice place to take someone out on a first date.
Yes.
What was that about?
Hear me out. CAFÉ JAVAS is a nice place. They have nice food. The prices are good. I have nothing negative to speak about CAFÉ JAVAS in terms of service and even the quality of the food.
So?
But it's a first date. It has to be in a place that is relatively quiet. There isn't the hustle and bustle that you find in CAFÉ JAVAS because you're going to get to know each other, have a conversation. But at CAFÉ JAVAS, 1 minute you're speaking, there is a baby running around. Next minute, there is a baby crying. Next minute, happy birthday, dear. Really? Is that still a date?
I think we can agree that everyone hates that birthday song. So management of CAFÉ JAVAS, please compose a new birthday tune. Otherwise, your
and get
customers
rid of the drums.
are going crazy. But you know, the thing is, Olive, and maybe I'll explain it from my own perspective, and I don't know if many men might relate. For us, the first date isn't so much, oh, this is the day to sweep her off her feet. This is for us more of an introduction. Like maybe you exchange numbers at a public event, could have been a wedding, or could have been like an office corporate event, it could have been at church, whatever. Like you exchange numbers and you know, you're like, hey, let's talk, you know, one of these days let's meet up or something. And so you propose to meet later on in that week. You call her or text her to say, let's have lunch at CAFÉ JAVAS. Now, the reason why we would be wanting to meet you at CAFÉ JAVAS isn't because, oh, I want to take her to a secluded place where I can stare into her eyes and for our souls to connect. It's more a case of just me wanting to feel your vibe and to just see how you roll, you know.
I think we come from different perspectives, because I believe if we met at let's say a public gathering and you took my number, I would expect us to have conversations before we even get onto the date itself. Like you talk to me, you see if we are gelling a bit, maybe through calls or texts, and then we decide to go out on a date.
Okay, so
by
let me
the time you ask me out, you have an idea.
Let me tell you a secret, and maybe it's not a secret. I think legends understand that if you meet a woman and sparks fly initially, like maybe there's a burst of chemistry and you're feeling each other's vibe in that moment and you exchange contacts, what you want to do is to have physical contact like as soon as possible. Because what happens is if you do this protracted texting, you become a text buddy.
I'm not saying protracted. It can even be a week.
No, that's too long.
We meet on Sunday, we talk through the week, and then we go out on a date on Friday or Saturday.
All right, and this sort of speaks to certain aspects of female psychology. You will agree that women are typically more emotional, yes?
And a date is emotional,
and
right?
so when a woman is in that state, like when she's just met you and there's that excitement and the chemistry, for a few days after that, she is still, you're like high on her priority list of romantic prospects. Like she's still thinking of you in dreamy ways.
And a week isn't so long.
It is, because what's going to happen is before that week is over, she is likely to run into yet another person who will make her feel that special kind of way.
With both of them.
And then guess what happens?
What?
By the time you get around to proposing a date,
the other guy has already shot his shot.
He has already shot his shot. Probably they've even slept together already. And now you're in the friend zone. Let me tell you, Olive, out there are sharpshooters, guys who don't waste time.
That I get, I understand.
So you're there trying to text and have all these dialogues. Meanwhile, like dude is closing deals.
Okay, I get that, but still, you spoke the male perspective, but now I'm giving you the ladies' perspective. People like me, and I believe, because even on your post there are ladies that agreed with me and some that agreed with you. Good stuff. But people like me would rather we plan a good date, we go somewhere. And by the way, when I say a good date, I'm not even saying something so much out of the ordinary, something too expensive. I'm just saying let's find a place that is not too busy, that is relatively quiet, so that we can get to have a good conversation, enjoy each other's vibe without distractions.
You see, for me that is good, but it would come after.
But for you, you said Actually, your main concern was in case of awkward silences. I think I'm not afraid of that because I know I'm good with conversation.
But
honestly
you have
speaking,
to-
it's so hard for me to meet someone and we go out on a date and I come back and I say I was bored, except if the person is just boring.
I think you're being a bit unfair. And again, to speak as a man,
Okay.
women tend to prefer old-fashioned dating rules. In
Yes.
other words, so if the man must initiate the date, the man must also pay for the date, and really it is the man to guide and steer the conversation. Like, so if we sit together at a restaurant and we're talking, it's for me to come up with the interesting topics. Really, a girl just shows up. That's her job, is to show up and to be dazzled and to be entertained. And that is her expectation. She does not come for a date expecting that she's the one who's supposed to tell the fun stories. You know this.
Do you know why you're telling the fun stories? It's because you're trying to impress me. You're trying to get a second date.
Exactly. So if you are the girl, your job is to just sit, look nice. You're probably going to take selfies with your nice food that you've ordered. I don't know why you guys do that, but
Have you ever seen me taking a food selfie?
well, maybe I'll take you to CAFÉ
Okay,
JAVAS and we shall see. But
come on.
But my point
I
is,
take the pictures, yes, but I never
so
post them.
so awkward silence is mostly something that makes men panic, because immediately we're thinking perhaps we're failing in the whole charming thing, right? Because you women are so, as long as you show up on a date looking nice, your job is done.
No, not me.
Your
and
job
you
is
have,
done.
You have worked with me long enough. You've not dated me, but at least I think you know that if you were to ask me out, I would not buy.
Well, that's because our relationship is more broader and we have a lot of things in common and a lot of things to talk about.
And I look for men that I can actually have broad conversations with.
Yes, but you see, it's not something you can easily detect.
That's why
on your first encounter,
that's
when you're
we go
exchanging
back.
numbers. So think of it. I'm at a friend's birthday party, and you happen to be there. We have met for the first time. We're introduced by our mutual friends. Oh, Olive, this is Fatboy. Hey, Fatboy, this is Olive. Oh, hey, hello, nice to meet you. Okay, where do you work? Here. Oh, I work here. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe we should meet up one time. And then you give me your number, I give you mine. In that period of time, it is not possible for you to gauge my energy or to know what I might talk about.
I agree, but that's when we go back to the few days of back and forth chatting and some calls, because I also don't want to go like you meet me today and you ask me out on a date tomorrow. I will intentionally not be present because I'm like, what if I reach there and I can't even talk to him? But if I've had some conversations with you prior, then I will be confident coming into the dates.
Let me remind you of an article that was written. I think you remember it. We might have talked about it, about how I think 70% of women go out on dates for free food.
Okay, there is that.
There's that. So the thing is...
But seriously, I have a job. There is no date a man is going to pay for that I cannot pay for myself.
But you would still prefer that he pays for it. And
of
that's
course
fine.
he has to pay for the date.
So I've
but
been on
in
dates...
the event that he can't,
let me tell you something.
I should be able to pay.
I have been on a number of dates where the chick really has no interest in getting to know me. She is on her phone the whole time, either on Instagram or texting her friends or stuff like that. Not always, but it has happened enough times. And she's clearly uninterested in getting to know you. She's just happy because it's proggy.
And there is a guy who once told me that some girls will come to the restaurant, pick at their food, ask that it is packed, but before they ask that it is packed, they order takeaway. I'm like, wait, so you come onto the date, you order food to eat on the date, and then you order for takeaway? Who does that?
For supper.
Oh my God. And the guy said that there are girls in hostels that spend a full week without cooking, but they have food.
Yeah, that's how. They go out on dates then they pack.
But you see where the problem is? I keep telling you, Fatboy, and you keep telling us about Leonardo DiCaprio and his young women. But you see, when you go for girls that are of a certain age, most likely, let's say campus girls, they don't have a job. They depend on their parents, and sometimes the parents don't even give them enough money. So they are going to use you as their ATM. So don't come back here and start crying for us, yet you chose that. You made your beds, guys, so please comfortably sleep in them.
See, the point I'm making is not that, oh, is she a gold digger or does she want me to spend?
But you already talked about free food.
Well, I mean, I brought that up to emphasize the fact that if can you imagine, because you were saying if it's the first date, go to a secluded place where it's quiet and you get to know each
and
other.
Still a place you can afford.
Imagine that the girl that I'm asking out on this date happens to be the kind that is only showing up for the food, the free food. Can you imagine how stressful it would feel for me to be in an intimate, romantic, secluded restaurant
and
with a girl like that,
and
she's there for the
now,
food?
Do you see the sense?
At least if we're at JAVAS and you've come for the food, you know, I can at least keep myself entertained by looking around at people chatting, listening to those annoying birthday songs.
You should take me on.
Or
I'm
likely to interact. I'm likely to meet people I know, because you know JAVAS is like a hub.
No, Fatboy. This is when you take me on the whole talk to her first and see if there is substance there before you go and shoot yourself in the foot, because honestly speaking, it hurts. It's a lot of hard work going on a date with someone you can't talk to at all.
But because all of the initiative for it rests on the man, we have to be smart and decide which kind of place we would like to take the girl. And honestly, for me, a nice romantic date is more deserving for a woman with whom you've already established a connection. In fact, you even want to go beyond, step beyond, because now you feel like you want to do something nice for her. Now you're not doing it just to get to know her. Now you're like, you want to spoil her. So of course, then you'll take it to the nice, fancy, romantic, secluded place.
Fine.
But if it's the first date...
No, I hear where you're coming from, but this is what I still have to say. Don't do fine dining, maybe. Don't take her to a very exclusive, expensive place, but still choose a place that isn't as busy as a cafe. In this case, Cafe JAVAS.
So what about
to some
Café?
It's not as busy as JAVAS. Actually,
oh my gosh, it's even more busy.
It's just that it is smaller, but it is not. Or like
at least the one in Acacia.
Let's say Caramel. Caramel is busy, but it's not so big, so it doesn't have so many, traffic coming in and going out.
I think this is the elite in you talking. This is elitism.
Oh, so for the first time you're calling me an elite?
Because I think...
I always thought the guilty person here is you.
No, I think there's a certain belief that Cafe JAVAS is a bit of a...
No.
Kayola.
That's why I started with a disclaimer. I have no problem with Cafe JAVAS.
It's a Kayola joint.
No, it's not Kayola. All I'm saying
because
is
everyone goes there.
No, it has nothing to do with that. Because
a Caramel, because first of all, these are places in shopping malls in the rich areas.
No, please hear me out.
So you're not going to find the working class people in Caramel.
And you're going to find them
But you're going to find them in Cafe JAVAS.
You're going to find them there. All I'm saying is Caramel doesn't have as much traffic as JAVAS. So if you want to do something that is not too exclusive, you can do Caramel.
Okay, well, let me put it this way.
JAVAS is just too packed for a date. That's all I'm saying.
I'm saying JAVAS is a bit of a mass appeal kind of place, because when like working class people, when they get money, they want to go to JAVAS. You see, but you agree. Caramel is mostly for the posh, corporate. Caramel, Café.
Café is actually, I don't even...
You're not going to find a border guy there, but you find him in JAVAS.
Really?
With his family.
Are you really?
Oh, girlfriend.
But you see, the prices at Cafe JAVAS are the same prices as at Caramel. Café is a bit higher, but still they are in the same range. So for me, it's not even about prices. It's not even about the service, because we all know Cafe JAVAS beats all those restaurants and cafes hands down when it comes to service.
I think it's what my point is more the not even pricing, but rather exclusiveness.
For me, it wasn't even coming from that point of view. It was just about the numbers. You're not going to woo me in a place that is so crowded. Take me to a place, even if there are a number of people, but that doesn't feel like I'm suffocating. How am I going to do myself, or, blush, bat my eyelids when we are in Cafe JAVAS and
Why
then
not?
they are beating the drums? Come on.
So do you think Cafe JAVAS, what if they decided to create like a VIP section? Do you think that would help? Kind of like how they do like in in the nightclubs, like there was Silk Royale, there was
Even
Governor.
at Governor now,
You know,
they have-
like an
yeah.
exclusive place so that you have the one for the masses, and then those who want a bit more seclusion and a bit more special treatment.
I think right now is a bit too late to do something like that, because, like you said, people love Cafe Javas because it's high end, but at the same time
Accessible.
it also feels inclusive. So if you start those things of VIP, most people are going to actually feel offended, yet the pricing is the same. So it doesn't make sense. If you want VIP, you can get delivery to your home.
Okay, so so you're saying for you, first date, not Javas, but Cafe Seri, Caramel.
No, actually, I was giving you alternatives, but my
So you would
ideal
accept-
first date
Okay.
wouldn't even be caramel.
It would be where?
It would, let me keep quiet.
His house.
Nope.
Straight to headquarters.
No, I do not go to men's. I don't do Netflix and chill. I do not visit men in their homes unless we have become exclusive and now he's my boyfriend, I'm his girlfriend. Away from that, I'm not doing it. I'm meeting you in public
standards.
places. Yes.
So, but you haven't told us where. Give us an example.
You want to watch?
Sheraton, Serena,
There are those places. But it depends on the man, honestly. It depends.
or like an Indian restaurant.
If I know you, yeah, we can go to Nawab if I want to do. We can actually specify, do you want to do Indian food? And I'm like, yeah, let's do Indian food. Do you want to do seafood? Yeah, let's go to Izumi. So,
Izumi. Okay. Sushi.
prawns.
You're not playing games today. But wow, may the debate continue. Where do you think is the ideal place to take a girl out on the first date? Let us know. You're listening to the Fatboy Show on RX Radio.